With today is day number 1 on a 90-day clock. Okay, sure. And in Nisqually Jail, your name?
Adam, you talking to me?
Is it Mr. Farag?
Mr. Nabil Farag, Your Honor.
Very, thank you. All right. And you're here on several warrants. We've got City of Tumwater and State of Washington. And 1 second, I'm going to talk to my clerk. There's another one that we didn't get to the calendar. Okay. It goes all the way back to February 22 of 21. Here's the cause number. Thank you. Oh, all right. So we got several. And Mr. Stillwell, have you had a chance to talk with Mr. Farag about all of these?
I have, Your Honor, and I believe to begin, probable cause has been established on all of them. And so I've had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Farag about his constitutional rights. I believe he understands them. No need to deal with probable cause. We'd like to enter a plea of not guilty on each of these. I believe each case before the court this morning is an arraignment.
Well, most of them are.
Most of them.
Some are pretrial,
Some,
or still pending trial, I should say.
okay.
Your Honor, the attorney.
Mr. Farag, let me hear from Mr. Stillwell, and then I'll turn, one person at a time here.
He's not.
And Mr. Still,
He's not entirely my attorney.
well, he's here from Thurston County Public Defense, gratis of the county, to help you today.
I know, I appreciate the help, and but I mean, we need to seriously consider my custody status, because I've got a lot.
That's what we're talking about, Mr. Farag. That's exactly what we're going to get to today.
I got 3 purebred German Shepherds in the house alone, and they're never been left that long, and I don't have anybody to take care of them. Luckily, today is not as hot as it was yesterday. They were fed before I left, dry food. They usually get better food than that. And the water and my house
So,
is
Mr.
not locked. It
Farag,
was
let me
not
get
secure.
back to that. I have to deal with some logistics first, and then we will talk about all that. But let me hear from Mr. Stillwell without interruption at this stage. So,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Stillwell?
Thank you, Your Honor. So we would like to enter pleas of not guilty on the matters before which there's arraignments this morning. I do understand some of these matters were failures to appear. I believe those were for arraignments for all except for perhaps one. The matter ending in 393, which is the last one on the calendar list.
So we'll continue not guilty pleas on those that were entered, I take it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and then accept not guilty pleas to, let's see, disorderly conduct, criminal trespass, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 counts of violation of protection order or some kind of order restraining, malmish, 2 counts of malmish, and 1, 2, 3, 4 counts of driving while suspended third, and 1 reckless driving. Will continue that not guilty plea and proceed on to a pretrial conference. So going forward after today, Mr. Farag, would you like the court to appoint Thurston County Public Defense to represent you?
It all hinges on whether I get PR'd or not, your judge. I want to stay in close contact with the court now that we have broken the ice as far as appearing before the court. There was
So answer my
problems.
question if you would, Mr. Farag.
No, I don't want an attorney. I don't want an
appointed?
attorney to supersede me and supplant me and silence me. He doesn't know
Okay,
what
so you want
the
to,
facts.
so you want to represent yourself after today is what you're telling me.
Well, yeah, but today is far more critical. It's going to have a bearing on what happens after today.
All
Because,
right, well, maybe we'll revisit that. All right, so
a fair
Let me hear from
trial
the
all hinges
prosecuting
on what happens
attorney.
today.
let me hear from the prosecuting attorney and then we'll turn back. So Mr. Farrow, on behalf of the city and the county, what are you asking of the court on release conditions?
Well, Your Honor, as the court's aware, Mr. Farag, I think, has 13 active warrants, as well as a very lengthy criminal history. However, looks like I think all of these matters are from 2022. And it looks like most of the warrants were issued within a 2-month span. I've read through as many of the police reports as I had time to, and just, I mean, quite honestly, I'm not sure what's appropriate here, Your Honor. Doesn't seem like there's violence in any of these charges. It's mostly just the sheer number of them. I hate to do this. I think the state's going to defer to the court as to release conditions on, or as to what to do with the warrant on these cases.
Your
So,
Honor.
Mr. Stillwell?
Thank you, Your Honor. In speaking with Mr. Farag, the failures to appear seem to have been stemmed from his inability to attend court in person and his sort of lack of technological ability to attend via Zoom previously. He does now have smartphone capability. We discussed the fact that he could attend, if out of custody, over Zoom for certain hearings. We have good contact information for him. And so considering, sort of acknowledging the number of cases however, pointing out the sort of the lack of violence here in the criminal history, and the warrants being issued for sort of failures to appear, as was indicated, within a reasonably narrow amount of time, we'd ask for him to be released on his own recognizance. I'd be happy to chat the phone number for Mr. Farag's smartphone to the court so they have it, so he gets text reminders and is perhaps able to attend via Zoom when
They
he's
already
able to
have
do
it,
that.
attorney. They've sent me text messages.
Right, and Mr. Farag was back at the front counter of the court all the way back August of 2022. We gave him a court date and he didn't appear again to clear up those, and then there were new law violations. So
September 22, there hasn't been any new violations, Your Honor, in the last year, whether it be traffic or the non-traffic, the anti-harassment case. It all has to do with the neighbors next door, and they've given me difficulty. Safety.
So why didn't you come back to court? You came to the front counter to clear up those warrants. We gave you a court date and you didn't come back. And then you contacted us.
Well, I know September 9th, I
back.
dislocated my thumb. I wouldn't have been able to write in court. I'm right-handed. And then I've had 2 dogs, 2 purebred German Shepherds that cost me $3,000 combined. And they have me restricted. I can't move. I couldn't bring them in the courtroom. And then right now, I have to be careful where I take them, where they sit, because if they go poo-poo or pee-pee, they're gonna make a mess. And I ended up foolishly getting a 3rd dog, a 10 and a half weeks old chocolate lab, cost me $900 last Sunday. Not this Sunday, the Sunday before. So it's going on 8 days, but I want the court to work with me. I want you to consider my rights, because the neighbors have been pushing me around. It's been going on 5 years. It has had a dramatic effect on me. And I just wonder, their hands are not clean, Your Honor. So that these charges that have to do with the neighbors at the dual buildings, they are subject to mitigation. I want to explain this. I'm going to file a civil lawsuit, but my house has been damaged. I've got roof damage that has resulted in 5, 6, 7, 8 years later, a hole in the big, large bathroom, and mildew has crossed the phone. That's where my computer is, my main computer. With Windows 7, I think, and it's got my other computer at the other end of the house. The Windows 7 went on the blink, and those computers are not. They don't have the they don't have the Word software, Microsoft. And so I'm struggling with a lot of difficulties and restrictions, the dogs, the
So,
house
Mr. Farag,
damage, and
the court has to make a decision here, and we've issued at least 5 warrants on one of these matters to get you back into court. Let's go back.
I want to start fresh.
Don't interrupt me, Mr. Farag. I'm ruling. This goes back to
I wanna start fresh.
2021, not being able to come into court we've tried to, we've continued things, we've allowed you warrant quash hearings, you
Your
haven't
Honor,
come
we
in,
had
you
to
haven't
see
come
how-
in. I'm asking you not to interrupt me, Mr. Frog. So at this stage, we have not been able to get anywhere with your cases because of you. I'm gonna have you post 500 cash or bond on each matter, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 matters to ensure that you come back. And I'm appointing Thurston County Public Defense. Now you'll tell us once you meet if you want their assistance or not, but I want you to have that opportunity and then to make a decision about that once you talk to them. But these cases carry some significant significance to you. So we'll have a pretrial conference. If you post bond on all of these, then you bring yourself into court or you come by Zoom. And I'm going to set that hearing for June 30th at 10 in the morning. If you're still in custody, we'll have a hearing at 1:30 in the afternoon, and you'll have benefit of having time to talk to an attorney. But in the meantime, you don't drive, you don't violate the law, you don't violate no contact orders, and you come back to court. So that's it for today. I may have to finish all those later.
And Your Honor, I guess I would just ask, so Mr. Farag is representing himself from this point forward.
No, I've appointed Thurston County Public Defense, and he'll give us a different decision potentially on the 30th or not, but I think he needs that opportunity to talk.
Excellent, thank you.
It's gonna take a while to get all of these done.